Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. I, 17 male, have not spoken to my father in a little over a year, until he called me to tell me his wife was pregnant and high risk and he wanted me to help him look after her. My reason for not speaking to my dad is that he had an affair with his wife while he was married to my mom. They worked together. She was his boss, technically, and when they got found out, they were both fired from their job. She was his supervisor, and it was against the rules to sleep with someone you're in a position of power over. But they also did stuff at work which was against the rules as well. They tried to blame Mom and attempted to disparage her to me and others because they were angry Mom was so angry at them. My father's wife said she had done nothing wrong and did not like the hostility aimed at her when she was an innocent party. I was 15 when this all went down. He actually brought this woman into our home and expected us to be kind to her and accept that they wanted to be happy together. He expected me to be more welcoming than I was. I told him to go F himself and that I didn't want to be around either of them and they were disgusting. My father had every other weekend custody of me through the divorce proceedings, but Mom and I fought and won the ability for me to decide if I wanted to go to his place or not. Once that was in my hands, I stopped all contact with him and have refused to step foot inside his house. So he called me to tell me about his wife's pregnant and how it's high risk. I didn't answer, but he left a voicemail. He called me back a few times until I answered. He said how she's not able to work and she's at home on her own a lot while he's working. She can't do much for herself and he wanted me to help take care of her and their house. I was like, no way in hell am I taking care of his wife. He said if I don't want to do it for them, think of the baby who will be my little brother, and he was like, surely you'll want a relationship with him. I said nope. I won't ever see his new kid and I won't be his kid's big brother. My father was saying that's not how you treat family. I told him he ceased to be my family when he decided to try and turn me against Mom and brought his side piece into the family home. I told him Mom had done nothing wrong. He cheated, and there he was, trying to poison me against her. My father argued that it was nothing to do with me. I pointed out he made it something to do with me when he tried to use me. He protested some more and said he needs help. I said he can take care of his own wife, and when it comes to that, he can take care of his own family and to leave me alone. He lectured me about people needing help from time to time, and I'm being a little jerk about this. He said she could lose the baby if she's forced to do too much. I told him that wasn't my problem. Am I the bonehead? Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. He made his choice. He can live with it now. OP replied, wish I had said this to him. It's so true. Not the bonehead. It says a lot he's reaching out to you, a 17-year-old, to help out. They don't have any friends or family who apparently have time or like them enough to make time. Also, he's 100% responsible for this, but she knew he was married, so she isn't innocent in it at all. I would say to try to forgive him for your own peace, but that doesn't mean you have to be around them nor talk to them. OP replied, I've been working on the forgiving, but he's not part of my life anymore. Mom and I both see therapists to help us out. I know he lost people when his affair came out, but he has friends who knew and supported him at the time. He must have lost them too. Not the bonehead. Your father seems very selfish and manipulative. You're not wrong for anything you said or did here. Not the bonehead. First and foremost, someone else's child is never the responsibility of another. Secondly, I think it's tacky for a parent to suggest or attempt to guilt you into helping because this is your sibling. Yes, again sibling, not your child. You have every right to decline what your dad is asking you to do, especially after what he's put you and your mom through. A little backstory. We grew up in a pretty toxic family fueled by our parents' addictions. I always felt like the forgotten child out of the 5 daughters they had. My mother even surrendered all custody of me, not my sisters, when I was 12. When I was 16, I thought I was in love with my boyfriend, 18 male. We had our first child when I was 17, married at 19, and twins at 20. It was a toxic relationship on both sides. We eventually went through a rough divorce when I was 30. We both got help for our trauma and issues and now have a great co-parenting relationship. I've been in an amazing relationship with my fiancé of 5.5 years, and he recently proposed. Every time I talk to my oldest sister about the wedding, she mentions it's not my first wedding. She has said things like, I shouldn't wear white. It should be small. I should tell everyone not to get gifts because that's the tradition. It's my fiancé's first wedding. She called me to tell me that she was assigned to throw a bridal shower but didn't think it was appropriate since I had been married before. I'm well aware this is not my first wedding and don't need to be reminded every time she asks me about the wedding. I informed her I wasn't interested in her throwing a bridal shower and that my bridal party would be doing it instead. She would be welcome to attend, but I don't want anyone to feel obligated to celebrate the upcoming wedding. Now she thinks I'm being dramatic and twisting her words. She stated she thought it was funny that she was assigned and wanted to make sure I actually wanted a shower. She also mentioned again to tell the bridal party to make sure and put on the invitation not to bring gifts since I'm already established. I honestly don't care if people bring gifts or not, but why is she pushing this? I told her I wasn't interested in arguing or talking further on this topic. My fiancé is the baby of his family and they weren't sure he'd ever get married since he's 40. They want to celebrate all the traditional wedding things for us. His family is great and have accepted the kids and I from the beginning. I want him to have that experience as well. Should it matter that I had been married before? Am I the bonehead? Update. Firstly, thank you all for the well wishes. I didn't expect so many responses, but I appreciate every single response. To answer a few common questions, she's been married for over 20 years. Not positive who exactly assigned her in charge, as my matron of honor was already planning the shower. I assume my siblings felt obligated but didn't really want to do it and assigned her. I don't think she's jealous of the gifts or wedding and don't really understand why she would be. She's only a guest and doesn't have a role in the wedding. I don't think she would say or do anything at the wedding. She likes to project the perfect persona in front of other people. Due to the family dynamics, most of my family is not invited. Only 2 sisters are on the invite list. I've been clinging to these 2 relationships since I went no contact with most of the family. While I know no contact is what's best sometimes, it feels like I'm the problem since they all still have contact with each other. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. Who's assigning her these jobs? You need to shut her down whenever she tries to talk about the wedding and not let her have anything to do with the arrangements. OP replied, I'm assuming it would be my siblings feeling obligated but no one wanted to do it, but then getting upset when I said no. It's weird that she seems so focused on downplaying your wedding. It doesn't sound like she has your best interests at heart. I think you're right to keep your distance, not the bonehead. Not the bonehead. You need to have a serious talk with your sister. She sounds as if she isn't happy at all that you're getting married. If that's the case, uninvite her. Cutting ugly and toxic people from your life is de rigueur for you after growing up in a toxic household. But this is probably another one who needs to go. Her statements are meant to hurt. Don't let her do it to you. OP replied, sadly, you're correct. I don't have a relationship with most of my family. The only family I have contact with is 2 of my sisters. It starts feeling like I'm the issue the more family I have to cut ties with. Not the bonehead. OP, which person who loves you is going to put the metaphoric boot up your sister's butt? OP replied, my oldest child would love to, but I've not allowed it. It would just start even more drama I don't want to deal with. Not the bonehead, but ask your sister what she thinks a shower is. Showers, be they wedding or baby, are one of the few parties where the giving of gifts is the purpose. Birthday, anniversary, graduation, etc. They all may include gift giving. But that is not the purpose. I've heard of recipe ones, where the guests are encouraged to bring a favorite recipe in place of another type of gift. But that was still a gift. Is she getting it confused with a bachelorette party or hen do? I, 48 female, have 2 daughters, 18 female Rose and 20 female Sarah. Sarah has a bad attitude towards everyone, including me, my husband, and Rose. Sarah will raise her voice against everyone who gets in her way, or she'll slam doors if she doesn't get what she wants. Asking her to help with the table could cause the biggest argument in the house. Rose, on the other hand, helps with everything. Rose cleans the table, she cooks, she does groceries, and she even helps with laundry whenever she can. Sarah has always been like this, and we even sent her to therapy as well, but nothing changed. I, as a 48-year-old female, have the biggest insecurities and health problems caused mainly by Sarah. I work 2 jobs a day, and even though Sarah is home most of the time, she doesn't help me the tiniest bit. In fact, she'll call me and demand I bring her food to her room, and then she'll slam the door in my face without a thank you. I'm done with it, and 1 week ago, I yelled back at her. I told her that from now on, 1, I won't do her laundry. 2, I won't make her food. 3, I won't buy things she likes when I go for groceries. 4, I won't clean her room. And 5, I will stop supporting her financially. Rose said she understood why I'm upset and is standing by me. Rose said that she'll help me with cooking, etc. Rose goes to school and I don't want her to be overtaken by housework. I told her that it was no rush and I'm only cooking for 3. I'm only cooking for the people who deserve to be cooked for and help me with the house. Sarah has been going around telling people that I treat her badly and I'm starving her. I again told Sarah I'm returning the exact same behavior she's been giving me for years. I started giving her an attitude as well. Sarah is telling me that I've made my point and should go back to doing my duties. Some family members are getting involved as well and they say that I'm a bad mother. So am I the bonehead? Now for some comments. It's time to tip this ungrateful chick from the nest. Thank those family members for volunteering to show you what a good mother is. Tell them you'll be dropping Sarah off at their home so they can cook and clean for her. Include a list of all of Sarah's favorite things they can buy beforehand. Not the bonehead. Not the bonehead. Sarah is a brat for telling you that you've made your point and should go back to doing your duties. You are finally standing up for yourself. Sarah is an adult and can finally learn about consequences for her actions. Stay strong and don't fold. She's still young enough to learn. OP, she's 20 years old and you did her laundry, made her food, bought things she likes, cleaned her room and supported her financially while she was screaming and ordering you to bring food to her room? Not the bonehead. Not the bonehead. She's a 20-year-old adult. Living at home, I assume rent-free, is a privilege, not a given. She sounds like a spoiled teenager and needs a reality check. I would suggest, however, that you make a strategy for going forwards rather than just acting or reacting on emotion. What do you hope to gain from this and how do you plan to get there? Is it just that you want more gratitude and respect, or do you want her to contribute certain chores or money towards the household? I think you need to be clear with her about what changes you want to see in her behavior and how she can meet your requirements. Plus, what would be the rewards or punishment when she does or doesn't meet them? OP replied, "We pay the mortgage and we don't make our kids pay anything. We expect them to contribute to the household when they can, and we want respect. But I've come to the conclusion that Sarah will never pay respect, not even after a long time of therapy. I've given up on the idea of her respecting me. But Sarah won't do anything around the house and on top of that gives people an attitude. You're the bonehead for allowing this. The things you have stopped doing are things she should do for herself. Don't you dare start again. Remember that you've allowed this, and if it continues, then it's by your choice." I, 25 male, was out with my girlfriend, 25 female, and some other friends. We were drinking and having a good time. I smoke, trying to quit, and went outside alone for a smoke. I was standing in front of the bar in a kind of a short walkway. I don't like standing right in front of the door because the smoke gets into the bar or establishment. This frantic-looking woman is walking at normal pace and there's a guy a couple of feet behind her. She walks to me and said, "Hey baby, I'm glad you're waiting where you said you would." I was confused at first, but I quickly understood the situation. This guy was weird, and on the way up he was muttering weird things like, "Just give me your number. You're so pretty. I just want to talk to you," etc. When I told someone else this story, I was asked why I didn't react when I saw her walking and heard that. And the answer is it all happened very fast and I'd been drinking. Once I put it together, I said, "Hey honey, been waiting for ya." And she put her arm around me and it took longer than I would have liked for the guy to leave. I was being gentle, saying, "All right, goodbye buddy, and we've got to get back home." Eventually the guy left, not because she wanted him to leave, because I kept insisting. Nothing bad happened at all. My girlfriend had been watching from the window and must have only caught the end part of it and saw the other girl with her arm around me. My girlfriend is not the type to cause a public scene. She'll wait until a private time to air her grievances. The girl had no money for an Uber and was planning on walking home but felt too nervous. So I arranged for an Uber to pick her up and waited outside with her until the car came. Jumping ahead to when I was home with my girlfriend, she asked me what was that all about, and wanted to know why her arm was around me and why I stayed after the creep left. She put together that the guy was being weird, but she said I shouldn't have let her put her arm around me, even though after the guy left she removed it. None of my explanations were working, so I just turned it to her and said, "What would you have wanted me to do? And if you were here, what would you have wanted the guy to do?" She just couldn't answer and said to stop flipping it. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. Thanks for helping a stranger. Ask your girlfriend what she would like a stranger to do if she was in that situation. I would thank my boyfriend. OP replied, "I asked but received no answer." Not the bonehead. You're a hero and may have saved that woman from something terrible. Your girlfriend should recognize that and get over it. Women are too frequently put into these situations, and I hope that there'll be someone like you around if your girlfriend ever needed it. She sounds insecure. Good luck. Not the bonehead. You did what a real man should do. Your girlfriend is being insecure, and if she had her way, that girl could have been assaulted or worse. I hope she never finds herself in that situation. Not the bonehead. And the reason your girlfriend is telling you to stop flipping it is because she has no good argument against you protecting someone vulnerable. She's lucky to be with someone so kind-hearted and generous. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you like these stories, please consider subscribing. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.